Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel today. Today, I want to talk about a lure modification I briefly touched upon a couple weeks ago in one of my previous videos, and that was to take a standard rooster tail lure like this one here, and then adding a what's called a bladed treble or a hybrid style treble hook on the back of it to add some more flash. Well, today was the first time I had a chance to take it out and do some fishing at it. I haven't had a chance to fish it in the river I was referring to a couple weeks ago in the video on it, but I was at a local lake today fishing it along some riprap. And I know this lake produces a lot of fish. As a matter of fact, there was earlier in this week I was fishing the same lake, and there was a couple guys out there using like Alabama rigs or umbrella rigs. And for comparison's sake, the modification I did was to try to simulate a smaller or a downsized version of an Alabama or an umbrella rig. So just for comparison's sake, I've got a picture pulled up on the internet here, and this picture kind of shows. What a typical umbrella rig or an Alabama rig is going to look like. Gives you a couple of wire arms with a couple of blades on it, typically like a willow blade, although they could run with Colorados or Indiana blades, I assume, as well. And then you just, with a quick snap, you could put whatever type of soft bait you want on the back, whether it's a jig head, a simple hook with a swim minnow, whatever you prefer. And that's the idea to catch, to make it appear like a school of bait fishes swimming around. And then at certain times of year, these baits are really highly effective for catching big fish on big bodies of water, typically larger lakes and rivers. Where fish are going after bait fish and schools of bait fish. That's where you want to run a rig like this typically. But going back to this, I wanted to try to simulate a smaller version of the A rig or the umbrella rig just by adding this little extra tail for a little extra flash. So as I started fishing it, threw it around a little bit. I had a bite and a miss, and then I was able to hook in a few minutes later on a fish and land it. And then I realized that the lure does work like I expected it to, and that's great. So if you're in an area where there are a lot of bait fish around and you want to maybe try to make a small, easy modification to your rooster tail lure to see if it'll help improve the bite, definitely you may want to look into these what they call bladed treble hooks. Sometimes they'll call them a hybrid treble. Sometimes they'll call them a bladed treble. This one was made by a company called VMC, but there are other companies that do make them. And they come in different sizes as well. So if you want a larger diameter treble hook, you can get that. If you want a smaller diameter treble hook, you can get that as well. So let's say and I have these currently mounted on a quarter ounce rooster tail lure, but you could put them on a 1/6 ounce, you could put them on a 1/8 ounce, and you could custom size the diameter of your treble hook based on the size of your rooster tail. So if you need a smaller rooster with a blade on the back, you can do that as well. And the other option is too, you could even remove that blade because of that hook in the back. Let me kind of profile that and hook something else up. You could run them in series. You know, the hook that this is mounted on in the back, I don't know if that's going to show up. Yeah, you can see a little bit of it. But you could remove that blade and you could add, if you wanted to chain a couple of roosters together, make it almost look like a snake or a long worm or like a insects mating that might be being dragged through the water. That's another option as well. But fishing them like this really gives you that extra little bit of flash at the back, and it does help a lot with the bite. So bear that in mind if you decide to play around. It's a super easy mod to make, and I think you might find the results are pretty satisfying when you get out and use them. So as always, thanks again for watching, and just wanted to give you some feedback on one of the lure modifications I've done recently, and it does work, and it works pretty well. So thanks again as always, and get out on the water when you can. We've been going through some kind of crazy weather patterns here in Kentucky where we get a couple nice days and then it rains like crazy, and then it just messes everything up for a few days, and then we get back to the fishing pattern, and that seems to be the way it's been going the last month or so. But hopefully the weather will get better. But I am still catching fish out there, and I'm sure you will too if you get a chance to get out. So thanks again as always, and we'll see you next time. Bye.